right, and welcome to McArthur Live. I am your host, Tim Bartz, and I have
Sarah Davis.
And you want to change your name? It says Tim Bartz. Do you know how to change that? Anyway, we are live with you. Sarah will hopefully try to figure that out. Thank you. I am actually in Georgia, the state of Georgia, and at a conference. Unique. It is like at a camp setting. So anyway, so you see the wood. It's pretty cool. So it's at a camp. It's different than any conference, digital automotive conference I've been at. But then Sarah is at the dealership, as you guys can see. So how's it going?
There we go.
Can you
Good.
hear it? Okay, just making sure. All right. So don't forget, we are recording this as a podcast as well. So we're going to be uploading that hopefully tonight. If not, probably when I get to the hotel room, we'll get that uploaded as a podcast at your favorite podcasting channels, of course. If you're listening to the podcast, don't forget you can come on over and watch it live with us every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central Time on right here on our YouTube channel. And also, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, all that good stuff. If you're first time watching this, have some information on the Maverick, so you might be coming over and be new because of that information. So don't forget to subscribe. So, Sarah, you want to talk about membership?
Yes. All right. So if you'd like to become a member, you just hit that join button beside the subscribe button on there. It is $4.99 a month. It gives you a couple of perks. You get to get a new member packet. So if you join, send me your email with your information so I can get that sent out to you. You also get your name in green with a box beside you telling you how long you've been a member for. And then you also get some member only content on YouTube as well. So lots of great perks there. So
And if they're on an iPhone or an
that's right.
Android, how do they get to that?
iPhone, you have to do things differently. You have to go to your web browser, click the big A and little a up by the link, and request desktop browser. From there, you should be able to see it.
There you go. Yep. So if you need help with that, of course, email Sarah there at her email address, fordvideoguy@gmail.com, and she can help you out with that.
Yes.
We got some members in here. Should we
Yes,
give
we
some
do.
member shout outs there?
Yes. First off, we have Richview, our lovely moderator. He says, "Hey folks, see you all soon." So he's always in here before our stream starts and welcomes everyone in for us. So we have Elizabeth Kittrell here. She says, "Evening, everyone." Shane McNally says, "Hey all." We have Chase Stetter says, "Hey, the mics were muted before the stream was started."
Yes, we're learning from our mistakes, aren't we?
We are. Where did that one go? Okay. Michael K. Stove, 16, says, "Good afternoon to you all from Lake Mendocino, California."
California.
Yep. Mod Talk says, "Hi all once again from Mod Talk." Vol says, "It's always good to see you patrolling chat, keeping us in line, Richview." We have, and I still don't know how to say your name, so I'm just going to call you me.
I think that's an abbreviation for something.
I do too, but it has ME at the end, so I'm just going to say me. Even and all. Let's see, Donald says, "Cross the Continental Divide on the Southwest Chief and return in a new truck from Lowell McArthur. Thanks to everyone there in Kansas. You are the best."
Yep, got to meet him when he came in to pick up his truck. That was awesome.
Yes. Brandon Jones says, "Whoa, Tim squared." Palm Tree for I don't know. Palm Tree. Hell from Southern California.
Another California viewer. Remember?
Yep.
Cool.
We have several California members. We
In
have
Florida.
Yeah.
Gino's from Florida.
Yes. We have Roger Cupido. I think he's somewhere near Johnny, who says, "Howdy, friends."
All right, we got Johnny Kirk and reviews. That's awesome.
We have Roy Pass says, "Hello." Purdue Guy says hello from Florida, patiently waiting for my blue Mav.
Super Duty,
Are you
right?
sure? Because it says blue Mav.
My SD. I don't know.
I think that's supposed to be a face,
Oh, ah,
like a guy shouting.
okay.
Yep, over here it has that.
Ah,
All right, Misty
well,
Novotny. Novotny. Hi everyone. Hi Marine and hi Roy Pass, who is here. I think I already did his. Zoom Zoom Jr. is here with us. We have Clarence Roller, 43, waiting, and only 21 likes. Come on, people.
smash that like, right?
Yes, probably
Whether
was
on
also
Facebook or
on there
YouTube.
with us, saying hit that like button. Rick and Kelly, hello friends, and Marine Vet. So, lots of great members join us on Tuesday nights.
All right. Cool, cool. All right, moving on. Don't forget to, if you want any of our merch or whatever, you can see it. There's a link in the description of all of our videos if you want to get any of our merch and such. Some of the videos that we had go live in the last week, 23 Bronco, the changes. That's job 2. That's the second half of production. There's some major changes. We talk about marine grade vinyl now, standard even on the Big Ben. And even if you put that order in and it was a cloth when you put that order in, it's not going to be marine grade vinyl on anything scheduled. In fact, they said it would start happening July 10th, but we noticed some people that are scheduled to be built in June that is showing marine grade vinyl as well. So talked about that, and also 24 Ranger videos. All of our complete guide videos, XL, XLT, Lariat trim, and even the Raptor are all live on our YouTube channel now that went live in the last week. Upcoming videos, I don't know what's coming up. So we got a lot of traveling going on. Of course, we'll be at the Ford Nationals in Carlisle, Pennsylvania next week. So we'll get a lot of cool content next week for everybody. Whether you're a member or not, we're going to do some nice, fun content there. We'll actually see the 24 Ranger Raptor for the first time in public to view. We'll be there when they're going to do the walk around and reveal that at Carlisle Nationals. Ford will be there. We'll see the Mustang, Dark Horse, everything. We'll get all that content for you guys next week. And RTR will be there. So we'll get RTR content as well. We'll do a walk around probably on the RTR Bronco. And so you guys can see and we can get that for you. We're an RTR dealer as well. So we can always get those for you, any of that stuff for you as well. So we'll get some cool stuff coming on. Don't forget to check out the different channels we like to support down in the description. The Bronco Nation channel. We have, of course, All Terrain Nation, Johnny's Carrican Reviews as always, and a couple others down there, including one of our members, RagnarCon, who started a YouTube channel. You got to check him out as well. So, all right. Moving on, I think it's time to talk about good dealer highlight. You got that right, Sarah?
I do. I was just pulling it up. All right. It says, I want to give a shout out to Courtesy Ford of Globe, Arizona. I have had a Bronco on order for close to 2 years with another dealership. I was not optimistic that I would ever receive it. I found a build that was close to what I ordered, but a higher trim. I called to get the info, and they confirmed that it would be at MSRP. After texting info for a few days, we picked it up on Friday. I can't say enough about the great service we received from Adam, Anthony, Janet, Brent, and everyone at Courtesy Ford of Globe. They made us feel very comfortable. We're fair on my trade-in and not pushy at all. Well worth the 100-mile drive each way. I look forward to doing more business with them in the future.
All right.
Thanks, Steve.
And that was Courtesy Ford out of where again? Is that
Courtesy Ford Globe in Arizona.
in Arizona? Cool. All right. Another good dealer if you're in that area and you're in Arizona. Sounds like that's worth a drive. They treat you right down there. So, all right. So moving on, let's talk about some scheduling notes and information. Got a couple updates to that. One of them, first off, talking about the 24 Edge was supposed to be ordered starting yesterday. That did get delayed till tomorrow, so you can order an Edge starting tomorrow. Still have not yet haven't seen an order guide yet on that. So I know we got order guides early on the Ranger, the Edge. I think the reason we didn't get an order guide is because it's probably not changed from last year, and this is the last year for the 24 Ford Edge. So anyway, so order bank should open up tomorrow. So if you want to put a Ford Edge order in, we can take your order. Also, moving on, let's just go ahead and break down and go through the different ones. I'm working off my phone this week here, folks. So yeah, bear with me here. So 24 Mustang does say dressing period stock. Does say limited retail scheduling this week. No specialties, so no dark horse scheduling. So gotta hold off. Does say stop build and place on the dark horse. So they're just not building those yet. Let's see here. I need to move my phone over here so I'm actually talking into the microphone. All right. See, and also exhausted commodity for July on the black painted roof. So which is optional on the Night Pony package. And also exhausted commodities on the optional 20-inch wheel and the convertible, which means that exhausted means that they're not going to schedule those. So if you're looking for those, yours won't get scheduled yet. So hopefully that changes next week. All right, the 23 Escape. So 23 Escape is scheduling for the month of July for production dates in July. So if you have an Escape, order it. Hoping to get it scheduled. July is what they're scheduling for this week. Of course, don't forget plug-in order banks are closed. You can still order an Escape. If you order a gas version or a hybrid, the order banks are still open for that, but not for the plug-in hybrid. 23 Bronco Sport, they are scheduling this week. No restrictions there, no commodity problems there, so that's good. 23 Edge, they're showing scheduling, but actually they're moving in. They're going to be moving into 24. I think this. Well, actually, I think this is the last month for Edge scheduling for July production dates, because then the order banks will open up now for probably August for 24 model year. Let's see, 23 Bronco, specially scheduling only. So we're talking Raptors. So Raptor only scheduling this week. So if Bronco Raptor, you have one in there. I heard somebody this week that emailed me and said that they had theirs went from a party 10 to party 1. What does that mean? I says it's probably a good chance that there's going to be some scheduling for you this next week, as long as your dealership has a Raptor allocation. So that's always good news to hear there. Yeah, there's of course there's a lot of other notes in here. Base, we already know base Everglades manual transmission, the Badlands with the optional wheel are all balanced out for 23. Saying Raptor, Heritage Limited not available for retail ordering. We've known that. That's been closed. And the Heritage and Heritage Limited are on stop build, delayed production, and scheduling. So we know that there's a quality. They just want to make sure there's our quality product before putting them out. We know they produce them. They're sitting, but they just want to make sure that's a good quality product. That's their first priority before they're going to ship those out. And because of that too, that's kind of delaying the scheduling of more of those Heritage editions if you get that order in March. So 23 Explorer, they are doing scheduling this week, very limited scheduling, they said. And then 23 Expedition, they're scheduling as well. These would all be for July build dates, by the way. Don't forget, if you have the Expedition order and you don't have the heavy duty trailer tow package, it's gonna be forced on you, or it won't get built. So if you don't change that, then it will not get built until 24 model year. You have to put a new order in for 24 model year. So all 23s have to have that on there. Even the ones that are scheduled without it, they have to put it on the order to get it built. So they're going to be adding that to those orders. So let's see here, what else? 23 Maverick, they are scheduling this week. So a lot of dealers probably got like R75 allocations were all scheduled last week for us. We'll talk a little bit about that and the things that are on my mind. We'll talk about a little bit what our orders look like and what some of the things that I saw trending of our 75 orders that got allocated and scheduled, I should say. Don't forget splash guards, the trifold bed covers, the load bed liner, and your trailer tow hitch are all a major constraint right now. So take those off your orders if you want to get it scheduled. Of course, 23 Ranger won't be scheduling because they're moving on to 24 model year. Let's see here. All right, 23 F-150. They are scheduled this week for the build week of June, the week of June 19th. So they're actually, that's only 3 weeks out from scheduling. They did say limited, same notes as last week actually. Limited scheduling on moonroofs. Limited scheduling for the 5.0 liter V8 engine, the 2.7, and the 3.3 liter. They need 3.5 liter orders. So if you want like an EcoBoost, they're looking for orders for that. No additional tremors, either of the two equipment groups or the Heritage packages. Again, like I said, if you want a Heritage package, we can get you one. We have a bunch in stock with some savings. Limited 20-inch all-terrain tires, limited availability for 18-inch chrome appearance package wheel. So if you have a chrome appearance package, if you go to the 20s, you're more likely to get scheduled. So that's what that means for that. No 17-inch all-season tires on the XL two-wheel drive, and then no black running boards available right now. So there you go. 23 Super Duty. They're scheduling this week for the build weeks of actually June 5th through June 19th. So almost the entire month of June there, the first 3 weeks, I should say, they're scheduling for those build weeks. Limited scheduling on the King Ranch and Platinum. Exhausted availability and limited. So if you have a limited order, probably not going to get scheduled. But you have a slim chance on if you have a King Ranch and Platinum order Super Duty. Limited availability for the 7.3 liter chassis. That's I think the cabin chassis. Um, Also, don't forget, they encourage you to take off that 18Y package upfitter integration system. They ask you to remove that from your order. Also, limit availability for the interior work surface, as well as the Pro Trailer Backup Assist, which is actually included in a lot of these packages. So that's limited. That means it won't schedule at all. But if you have that package, it'll probably take longer to get yours scheduled. And exhausted availability on the 600 4x4. So that's the big F600. So, um, and also they noticed this week that they mentioned in Webdo that the Max Recline seat is an issue right now. So it said Ford is encouraging Lariat, King Ranch, and Platinum customers to remove the Max Recline seats. That's option 90M. It's optional for you, even on the Lariat trim. It does require on the Lariat to get the Lariat Ultimate package to get that as an option, but that's a standalone option. You're just encouraged to take that off if you want it scheduled. If you want that on there, it's just going to take longer for it to get scheduled, so keep that in mind. Um, and then 23 Transit Connect van and wagon. It does say here it is scheduled for the weeks in July, so July 3rd to July 24th. And Transit also. So here we go. Transit is scheduled for the production weeks of July 3rd through July 10th, and then the same commodities as we've had on those. And then the Mach E is scheduling this week as well. So it does say all-wheel drive standard range battery not available until late August scheduling. So and there'll be a limited availability on that. So keep that in mind on those. So if you're new to these videos and such on live stream, so what they mean by what they're scheduling for, it means if you have an order in there, it has to be scheduled for production date so it can be produced, and that's in the future. So that's what we're going over on that stuff. So, Sarah, what happened to you? I lost her. She left. She got bored.
Sorry.
Where'd you go?
Over there.
All right. So that's all the scheduling notes and news. Any questions about any of that? I'm not looking at the questions chat over here.
Oh, you're good.
Two different ones there. We have any questions just specifically on scheduling that I can answer?
Ordered 23 XLT 302 high F-150 black appearance package on April 7th. No vendor build date.
No, November build date or no build date?
No build date.
Okay, so when did they order? For what vehicle was that?
April 7th.
Can you throw it up there?
Yeah, sorry. April 7th.
Ordered 23 XLT 2.7 F50 black appearance package does hold things up. I ordered on April 7th, no VIN or build date. Okay, so that's just a month ago. So it's not even that long ago. For one, your dealership needs to have allocations for the F-150. And for two, we know by what we just read that the 2.7 may not get scheduled this week. Very limited scheduling for the 2.7. And also, got to remember the black appearance package is only scheduling at about a 2 or 3% take rate. So that will take a little bit longer having the black appearance package on your order. So probably allow at least another month probably for it to get scheduled. So any others on that, like ordering?
Do we know when the build and price tool for the 24 Ranger will be available on our website?
on our website, we are just waiting on pricing right now. Ford has yet to release the pricing for the Ranger, so we don't have the price list. But the website, actually, our building price is ready to go live. But without prices, it's kind of useless because it's just a build site, not a building price. So
All right.
once we get the pricing, I did check twice today. Ford still has not released the price list. Once we get that, then we push it over. Then it should be live. Um, at the very latest, it'll be that Friday. Fords won't be available until after Memorial Day, so ours will still be live on our website before Fords will. So you still should be able to do that and price that out. But I don't know if Ford's doing it on purpose, so dealers can't have the build price on their own websites in time. But and maybe they're going to release it on Friday when they open the order guides or the order banks up. But it won't take our provider will get it on there by the end of the day, Friday, the latest. So anyway, yep, good
All
question though.
right.
All right,
Should
if
we
nothing
go on?
else, yeah, you want to check that off and
Yes.
all right. All right, moving on to dealer news. All right, so isn't a lot of dealer news. One thing that is coming out, let me see if I can pop this on here, add that. So RTR is revealing the 2024 Mustang RTR tomorrow, actually, in Orlando, Florida. So that's pretty exciting. So that'll being revealed at 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern. So I think that's live. It says at the Hollywood Plaza Garage. But we do have an image here of what. So they don't have the grill on the Mustang, but you kind of get an idea of what that grill is going to look like for the Mustang. And but their whole package they'll show as well. And we are an RTR dealer, so if you ever wanted to get an RTR package put on your Mustang, usually the way RTR does that is you purchase the package, they ship it to the dealer, kind of like Roush does with the Bronco package, and then the dealer puts that on there. So we are an authorized RTR dealer. So if you're interested in one of those to put on your 24 Mustang when it comes in, we can do that. But they're going to reveal that tomorrow, so we'll get images and everything. That might end up being a separate video sometime this week when I get back. So maybe Friday. So all right. Let's see what else. Let's see. Blue Cruise. So let's talk a little bit about Blue Cruise. A lot of people getting upset about the Blue Cruise now costing, and some people are saying it's $800 or what did they say, Sarah? Something about $800
Ch-
a
Uh,
year,
yeah.
right? $800 a year. So here's the deal on that. If you know you want the Blue Cruise, you need to add it to your order. It's $2,100 ahead of time for 3 years, and it's a lot cheaper than doing a monthly plan because if you do a monthly, it's about $800 a year. But if you do it ahead of time, it's $2,100 for 3 years, which, as you can tell, is going to be cheaper than that. I think I'd figured was a couple live streams ago when I talked about this. It was about $56 or less than $60, so it can save you some money in the long run if you know you want it. So that's what I just a tip for you guys if you know you want it on your Mach-E. That's probably the way to go about doing that. So also something on the Bronco Trail app that I want to remind people of this. This came up on somebody. What Sarah? You said you read that Bronco Sport customer went out on a trail or something.
Yeah, a Bronco Sport customer took his Bronco out on a trail following his buddy who has a Bronco. And so they were using the Bronco Trail app. And his buddy was like, "Oh yeah, we'll go on this moderate trail. Your Bronco Sport will be fine." He got
Mm-hmm.
stuck in a swamp area and had to be towed out. Then he was in ruts that if he were actually in the ruts, hit the bottom of his vehicle would be scraping the ground. So he had to stay up on top of the ground and not get in the ruts, and he was scratching up the side of his vehicle. And then they got to a point where he could not go up. They had rocks that would have caught on the bottom of his vehicle. He also didn't have the gear needed to go up that steep of an incline, so he had to go all the way back, which was a 3-hour trip in total.
So this is kind of a reminder to people if you're using that Bronco Trail app, remember that Bronco rates them. They have 4 rating, so it's like 1, 2, 3, and 4 is what they rate the trails. But if you actually look, and the trails aren't rated 1 to 4, they're rated 1 to 10.
Yeah.
So you need to take that and know that if it's a 4, it's not a 4 on a regular trail. It's probably an 8, 9, 10 on a regular trail. And so a 3 is going to be more than a 5. So, you should be looking at, 1 and a 2 trail at the most. And also you need to remember too, when you go on these trails, that conditions can change based on weather. So a lot of rain, snow, that kind of thing can also affect the trail itself too. So I want to kind of remind people that are looking at the Bronco Trail app and know that the trails are rated differently in the Bronco Trail app than they are on the actual trails. So
Yeah.
um, that's something to also, I think we need to,
Well,
that's
and
something that Ford probably needs to update on their
yeah,
app. But
I think he said
so,
that the trail that they went on isn't listed anywhere else. It's
uh,
only listed on the Bronco Trail app.
I found that to be true on the one here, the one in Kansas, right at
Yeah.
over by Manhattan, Tuttle Creek. Bronco Trail App actually has it on there. I know it's there. A lot of people have gone there, and is not on any of the other trail apps other than the
Yeah.
Bronco one. So
Yeah. So before you go, maybe check the forums, list the place that you plan to go to, and see if it would be a good idea for you to go on it.
yeah. But anyway, just a nice little friendly reminder. Now let's talk about Maverick for a second. So we got some dealer news update yesterday, I believe, that all of the Bronco orders have to have the COVP approval on them. They're going to open back up the COVP for submissions because a lot of dealers, when they first came out with it, they said that the orders did not have to be a COVP'd, but it was recommended. And so Ford is now saying they all have to be COVP'd or they will get canceled. So in here, and it says non-COVP approved orders, Maverick orders will be canceled. So it says here, any 23 Maverick retail orders not submitted and approved by June 2nd will be canceled. So it sounds like what'll happen first is on the 22nd, those orders will be put into priority 99. And then on the week of June 5th, they'll be canceled. So you need to make sure. And one thing I found out, we had several orders for us because we seal repeat all of ours, but we had a list. And on that list, I recognized some of the orders. So it seems like to me is if you change the PEP code, which is your trim. So if you change the trim on your order, or you change the body code from front wheel drive to all wheel drive or to the trimmer, those two changes, you have to re-COVP that order because it's no longer the same body code. So it has to be re-COVP'd. So trim, body code, if you made a change from when you submitted your order in September, you need to go in and have it re-COVP'd again. If your dealer tells you, no, we already took care of that, say, can you please just check because my order is going to get canceled in like a week if you don't make these changes. So you just need to make sure that your dealers are doing that. If you have an order with us, don't worry. We will contact you. We have that. You can trust me. I have that list. I'm going to go through that. I'm going to make sure nobody's order gets canceled. But we did notice that was something because we COVP'd all of ours and we had a list and we're like, how do we have these people not COVP'd? And when I started looking at them, it's people that had made changes to those orders. So we'll get those updated for you guys. We'll reach out to you. Don't feel like if you have an order with us, we're going to contact you and get that re-COVP'd. We'll need a new order sheet signed and a new blue sheet signed as well. Buyer's order for that. So we'll get that all for you guys. But if you have an order with another dealer and you have made those two changes, if you have made those two changes, you should be fine. But it wouldn't be a bad idea to check with your dealer anyway and make sure your order's good. But all dealers did receive their list of customers of all their orders and the ones that were COVP'd and verified and ones that were not. So your dealer should have that list. Somebody at your dealership, whether it be ours was sent to myself, our inventory manager, and our general manager. So at least the general manager dealership did get that list for your customers, for your dealership, for your customers. So you want to make sure that happens so that your order doesn't get canceled on you. So that's all the dealer news I got for this week. Got any questions regarding any of those news updates?
Uh, there's a few, but we can. Uh,
Wait till the Q&A.
yeah.
Okay. All right. I don't have any recalls this week. So there weren't really any that were updated or new. So that's all. That's always good. I don't like to go through recalls. So let's go into the is it true for this week. So this is a kind of fun one for me. So yesterday Ford had a marketing call, a Ford Pro meeting. I think it was some sort of shareholders meeting or something like that. I'm not sure. But so this week's is it true is it true that Ford will offer 3 new versions of the Bronco in coming years? So we don't know if this will happen next year or not. But here, let me show you this image, pop it up there from what was showed on the screen. There we go. So there you go. So that image was on the screen, and I want to take note of the left side. The left side shows current ones available, and it shows the Raptor, it shows the Everglade, and it shows the Heritage. So those are Bronco uh, vehicle lines that are going to looks like are going to stay at least next year. So Everglades is mentioned in there. So take note of that. I mentioned to you, a lot of people were out there were saying, I think that the Everglades gone. I think it's going away. Uh, According to this, I don't believe it is. It's going away. But one of the things we don't know about is the base isn't listed in there. The Big Bend's not listed. Outer Banks, Badlands, Wild Track. There's a lot of them that aren't listed in there. So what does the future look like? So the right side over there, actually, I have some close-ups of this. So there's the left side showing those. And then there's the right side showing a work Bronco, a premium Bronco, and a Heritage Plus. So kind of the belief is out there from a lot of people is that they believe that that work one is going to be only available to fleet customers. So my thinking is on this is that maybe the base trim will go away and this work trim will be available. So I don't know if they're going to still call it base and only make it available to a fleet customer and not a retail customer. The premium one, probably the Outer Banks will be, go in its place. This premium trim, whatever be called, will be replaced maybe to what the Outer Banks is. Don't think the Badlands is going anywhere. Maybe Black Diamond is. Don't know, but anyway, just something to think about. So that's coming up. One of the things they didn't mention, or at least I haven't heard it mentioned anywhere, is that no mention of EV or hybrid yet. So anyway, but at least it's something. At least they're teasing us with something, right? So that was pretty cool to kind of see that out. And I did get those clips from. I want to give credit where credit's due. Ford Authority had an article. I'll after this is over, I'll put it in the description of the video so you guys can go over and read that article if you want to in its entirety. But I just kind of gave you an overview just now. So all right. So ready for the what's on my mind about Maverick?
Yeah.
So everybody's probably here. All right, so let's go and talk about that.
We've gotten a few questions already.
All right. So why hasn't my Maverick order been scheduled yet? Scheduled for production yet, right? What's holding up my order? So, yes, we had 75 allocations that were all fulfilled last week. We saw several orders being overlooked by other orders. And I've actually said this in past. If you follow the live streams every week, I've mentioned this and talked about this, that this is something that I knew was going to happen, that this was going to happen because not everybody's order is the same. And just because your order was put in first doesn't mean it's going to be scheduled first, because it depends. There's a lot of variables. So you have Lariats that have, a Lariat Luxury, Copilot 360 Assist Plus package. It has, all these other packages. And as I've mentioned before, the more of those items you have on your order, the longer it's going to take to get scheduled. So we did see, what I did see is people we had some priority 15s that we're getting, well, they're all really at this point, all that we have left is new orders. But we had some of those people that were further down that ordered maybe even a day or two into the ordering system that got scheduled because they didn't have any of those things on there. We had a lot of people, Sarah and I both went through those orders. We had a lot of people that had maybe a hybrid or an EcoBoost, and they had like an XLT or a Lariat, but they didn't have any luxury package on there, and they got scheduled. And whereas we have other people with a Lariat package that didn't get scheduled. So we need to keep in mind about those commodity percentages. So when we're looking at that, if you have, for one, they didn't schedule any XLs last week. So none of our XLs got scheduled. So, it was a pretty much between the XLT and the hybrid. So I don't have those numbers in front of me because they're back at the office, but I think we had almost a 50-50, maybe a 60-40 split between gas and hybrid. I remember which way it went, but it was pretty close. And, we had a lot of XLT orders. And when we look at them too, we had also, you got to remember those commodity constraints. So XLT luxury packages, what they're getting built at about a 30% rate. The Lariat luxury packages are scheduled about a 25% rate. And then when you add in there a moonroof, I think moonroof is now a capacity. I can't remember what that number is at. Actually, I have it here. Hold on a second. I got it here. right here, actually. Um, I have it right here. So I will have to put the glasses on because it's a little dark in here. Um, so on the
Words that you
Maverick,
need to read.
so on the Maverick XLT luxury package is at 30% rate. Luxury, the Lariat Luxury is 25% rate. And for those of you that have the Lariat Luxury and you also wanted the Copilot 360 Assist Plus package, that's 25% as well. So it has to hit both those criterias, right? So that's almost like a double whammy there. And then the moonroof is at 38%, right? And then the hitch is now at 45%. So if you have if you have on your order the Lariat with the Lariat Luxury package, well, it has to hit that 25%. And if you wanted the Copilot 360 SS Plus package, you have to hit that 25%. If you wanted a moonroof as well, now you have to hit that 38%. So the more of these ones that are listed on the constraint items, the longer it's going to take for your order to get scheduled. Simplicity will win on this. This is not new. What, 2 years ago when I had my Bronco, Ford said, hey, we need orders that are Big Ben cloth top 4-door 2.3. Guess what I ordered? Big Ben cloth top 4-door. You guys have heard the story probably enough times, but that helps me. I got mine quicker. I was able to enjoy it and such and do that. We saw some people last year do the same thing. So they knew that was a constraint. So what did they do? They went ahead and they ordered theirs more simple so they could just enjoy a Maverick and then put in an order for 23 when the 23 order bank opened up, right? And then that way, if it took longer to get the one they really wanted, they knew that Maverick was still going to be worth some money, that they could trade it in on that 23. So some of you might think about doing that and such. Or if you end up seeing a Maverick at a dealer lot, how much does it cost you to wait for yours 2 or 3 months, or maybe you can put in a 24. So I don't know if that helped answer too much of those questions, but again, the more of those constraint items you have on your order, the longer it will take to get scheduled. That goes for the Super Duty as well. If you have a Super Duty, you have a Lariat with a Lariat Ultimate package, and then you also have the fifth wheel prep package. That's constrained right now. If you have the moonroof as well, that's another one, right? If you have that new package that gets the Pro Trailer Backup Assist, there's another hit, right? So it's kind of like the more of those things you have on there, the harder it's going to be to get that vehicle scheduled because it has to hit all those criterias. If you watch any of the Ranger Complete Guide videos that I did this last week, I talked about that with the dealer installed options. Try to keep that limited to a very low number because the more of those on there, they have to have all those parts on hand to schedule that order. If when they go to schedule your order and you're in line next, but they don't have one of those out of the 4 or 5, they won't schedule your order at all. They won't tell you, hey, we could schedule yours if you took that off. They're not going to do that. They just won't schedule your order. They'll go to another order that doesn't have that on there, and then they'll schedule it. So keep the stuff to a limit. If that's what you want, then that's great. But I'm just saying, don't question then why yours isn't scheduled if you have those items on there, because that's probably why you're not scheduled, right? So there you go. That's what I had. Those were the ones on my mind this week. So I guess I'm ready for questions, Sarah.
What? It's only 7:38.
7:39. Well, I didn't have recalls tonight.
All right. Let's get on to these questions.
Read those questions off for me.
All right. We will start with Kevin Sambo says, Tim, beautiful place you're staying at in Georgia. Waiting on that karaoke video next.
I did not do any karaoke the other night. Nope. I said they were doing karaoke. I don't sing very well. In fact, my wife doesn't let me sing in church. So that's how bad I am. Right, Sarah? You can tell.
No, that's not why. All right. Tim is in Georgia. He is at a camp. He is one of their speakers. So.
And if you remember, I didn't done a video yet today. I was going to do some videos, and since I was speaking, I was kind of thinking about that most of the day. But I'll do some videos tomorrow. So if you remember, you'll get some special exclusive member content of some of the stuff that's going on here. I'd like to do that for all of our loyal members there. So, all right, next question.
They like to know how your presentation went. Or are you going to talk about that on the Friday Live?
No, I mean, I think it went fine. It went pretty
Okay.
good. A lot of people said that they got a lot out of it, and it helped out a lot. So anyway,
All right. Let's see. Tim, Ford announced that all 23 Maverick orders now need to have a COVP. Sure, I butchered this. I got you. But LM Law McArthur always did this, even when Ford told you it's not required. What's up?
yep, that's actually not new. So yeah, we just talked about that a second ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's we kind of went over that already. Ford said they recommended COVP at the very beginning. That's why we did COVP. It's like I said, it's not a problem with our orders. So um, and yeah, like I said, if you made anybody that's already scheduled, they don't have to worry about it. So it's these basically any unscheduled orders that would have to worry about it. And again, if you have an order with us, you don't have to worry. If we need to do any new signing of any paperwork, then we'll contact you. But keep in mind, the only orders for us that would need to be re-COVP'd is people that made changes to that trim or the body code, because a different body code in the COVP, when you enter that order, you have to put the body code, which if it's front wheel drive or all wheel drive, that's your body code. You also have to list the trim. So if any of those two changed, the change of the motor doesn't matter. But if any of those two changed, then they have to be resubmitted. So we have a list. We know which ones need to be resubmitted. Won't take long. We just need to get that stuff, and we'll get that taken care of. I'm sure, Sarah, you can probably tell me because you're at the dealership. Is probably Meredith's all over that, getting with the guys
Yep.
already. So
She
there
got
you
them
go.
all out today. We
So
have
most of
3.
most of your sales guys will be getting with you on those. I do notice there were a couple of even of our members that had orders that will need to get that redone, but
We have
so
3.
we have 3. So I mean, and again, it's just it's changes that were made to the orders. So
Yep. All right. We have
and
Jared Messersmith.
I was just gonna say before we go on to this question that Ford did kind of warn dealers. They said we recommend that you COVP orders. So so what Ford's doing is they're doing the same thing they're doing to the Bronco. Whereas on the Bronco they said COVP isn't going to matter to allocations and to your vehicle, your orders being scheduled. But then they came around and said, okay, because we have so many orders, only the COVP orders are going to get scheduled. And that's what they're doing with Maverick, because they still have a lot of orders. They have more than what they can build this year. And so basically what they're doing, trying to figure out is dealers that put orders in and didn't COVP. Now they want to know that these are for real customers so they can actually get those orders to those customers, right? So,
So
all
on
right.
that topic, they said last week my Maverick was scheduled for week of July 10th, but I was never asked to re-COVP. Should I be all set?
Yep.
That is for orders that have not been
Yeah.
scheduled yet.
Unscheduled orders is the only thing that gets affected there. So
Alrighty.
you've
What
already
is
scheduled.
going?
Yeah, basically, if you're already scheduled, you don't have to worry about anything.
Yeah.
You should be good to be built. Knock on wood, because that happened last year. We did have some canceled orders. What was it, like 4 or 5 thousand orders to get canceled last year? But yes, at this point, you
Yeah.
should probably be good.
All right. We have
What was that one before that? Didn't somebody else have a
this one.
question? Yes,
Does the
Jan.
Escape plug-in hybrid still qualify for the tax rebate?
Yes, I believe it's. I think on that one it's like 3750 though. It's not the full 7500.
Okay. All right. Jan, if you think that you need to have one that needs to be re-COVP'd, you can reach out. But salesman should be contacting tomorrow to get that done.
Yeah, like I said, don't feel like you need. I mean, we're gonna be on it. I will when I get back. I will make sure, since I'm gonna be gone the week after, I'll make sure Friday that I've looked and what we've submitted, and we're all on that this week. I know that between our general manager and Meredith, we're gonna make sure these are done this week, and not and taken care of before we go into the end of the week. So, yep, should be
All
good.
right. What's going on with news with the Heritage Bronco issues again?
It's just making sure quality, and they've always said quality is number one. We're seeing the same thing happen with Mustang. So we're seeing Mustangs getting built, but they're going slower on it. They want to make sure they have a good finished product before they ramp up production. So if they get an issue or a hiccup, they're going to pause production to make it right. So they said they even did that on Super Duty. We saw it with Escape, right? Escape, same thing happened on Escape, right? Where they were having some issues, they halted production, they fixed the issues before producing more, They don't want to get all these vehicles in customers' hands and have to do all these recalls, right? So that's not what they want. They want when people get a vehicle, they can go enjoy their vehicle and not worry about quality or worry about a recall, right? So they want to make sure everything is ready to go. So on the Heritage, I, again, the assumption is since the Heritage is basically a Big Ben Sasquatch, that the probably the issue is going to have to be with something that's different with that, whether it be the plaid cloth or with that white hardtop or the white grill, right, or the white wheels. That's probably the four things that could cause it to be delayed. But again, they want to make sure quality is number one, and I would assume it's the hardtop, just for the fact that this is the first time having a painted hardtop for the Bronco. So that would be my assumption.
All right. Next up, Top Secret Vid says, okay, quick question. Since the cloth seats being changed to vinyl and I ordered the sandstone interior, will just the seats change or will Ford delete the sandstone color
Nope. So
dash?
if you have a Big Ben, it's now going to be black onyx is the only interior color. Sandstone is not even an option for interior color. And you're going to get the washout interior now instead of the cloth, instead of the carpet flooring, and you get the Molly straps, or the Molly system in the back.
Okay. Um, on that note, if you are already scheduled, do you need to worry about that?
Well, you don't have to worry because nothing you can change. There's not really anything you can do about it at this point. They're going to build it the way Ford wants to build it. A lot of people, what the brand manager told me was that is a job to change that goes into effect anything built the week of July 10th and later. But we've already seen with one of our members, Doug, he had a cloth Big Ben that's being built the week of July 12th, I think, if I remember right. And that particular vehicle now says vinyl seats. So we think it actually is being affected now, which also means
Okay.
if even if it's scheduled, it's probably going to be that.
Okay. Because
Don't know when that's going
I've
into
gotten
effect, but
several emails today and yesterday about that the website, their tracker says vinyl seats or whatever, the new seats, but their window sticker still says cloth. So they're
okay.
wondering which one they're gonna get.
So what's on the window sticker is how that vehicle's gonna be built. That window sticker is showing as basically that. So what they've done on the email is they've already made that adjustment to have that changed because that's what the website's gonna show. But what's on the window sticker, that's how your vehicle is going to be built because that window sticker is basically the factory's information of what needs to go on that vehicle. So the window sticker, it's going to be built to the specifications of what's on that window sticker.
Okay. So I was right in saying that if it's on the window sticker, that's what you're getting.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. I'm answering questions correctly then.
I'm sure you are.
All right, Roy Pass says amazing. Ford is adding Ranger, Raptor, etc., and can't deliver recall parts and/or orders for other vehicle for years. Obviously, looking at money and not customers. Um, so I have had questions, and that's why I started this one about the Ranger Raptor. Are they going to build it this year, or
Yep.
okay?
So we got to remember that Ford and most of the Raptor builds. So if you look at the Bronco Raptor, F-150 Raptor, they're at a very limited run. Now F-150 is probably more because the F-150 plant, they have two plants and they build a lot of F-150s. But if you look at the Bronco Raptor and the number that they make in a year, and I don't know if Ryan McConn's in here or not, but that number is
It is.
probably close to 5 or 6,000. I think we covered that this week or last week, but it's 5 or 6,000. So now let's look at the Ranger. So if they're building that many for that, let's say they can build 5 or 6,000 for the Raptor in a model year, right? So we know that the first round of Ranger Raptors, every dealership's going to get one. Well, there's 3,200 right there. So they plan to
Yeah.
make 3,200 probably by the end of the year, and then they're going to have a round two of allocations that they haven't distributed or told dealers how many they're supposed to get as an estimate, and they don't know what that's going to be based off of yet. So we assume that it's going to be based off of Raptors you sell, whether it be F-150 or Broncos, and Ranger, and how many Rangers you sell. Which so every dealerships will get one. Some dealerships won't get any more than that one. Some dealerships might get 5 or 6 in a year. So we know that. So we know probably they're going to produce about 3,000. And again, this is all speculation at this point, but we do know that every dealer is showing that they're getting one. on the first round, and I believe that I think that's probably the first year, probably the first half of production. So if that's 3,200 dealers, you're probably going to end up producing 6,000 in the 24 model year, which it is a longer model year. So you could say that's a little low, but um, I don't see why they wouldn't do that. So that's actually pretty similar to the numbers they're going to have. So, and I know a lot of people are saying, well, when Ford does that, then what that makes it is that makes the price for everything go up because it's a limited run, which then makes the prices go up. But how long have they been making the F 150 Raptor? How many years? A lot of years they've been making F 150 Raptor, and it's been the same way for the F 150 Raptor all these years. So it's no different than the F 150 Raptor. So that's the way I look at it. If that makes any sense.
Perfect. Sorry, I'm making sure I'm not missing any questions.
That's fine because I'm not looking at
Yeah.
I'm not looking at the shared ones
All right.
anyway.
Is it possible to remove Max Recline on the limited to increase the chance of scheduling?
Since the limited wasn't mentioned, that means they're probably going to focus on making sure that the max recline seats get put in the limiteds.
All right.
Right, so you shouldn't need to on a limited.
All right. What is the build week for Bronco Raptor if they schedule this week?
It's July build dates, I think. I don't know for
So,
sure.
yeah.
They may be sliding it into June since they didn't schedule any Raptors in June. It may be in June, but they didn't say. Hold on, where's that? Let me pull up my notes because sometimes I actually tell me it'll say the week of. So let me look. Let me go back to. All right, so I think they're saying scheduled week the week number 27, which is the same as Escape, which so it would be for July production then. Yeah, so it should be for July production.
All right. Okay. Schubert Technologies, when do your next allocations hit if we weren't part of the 75 scheduled? And he is talking about Maverick.
Okay, so a lot of times we'll get the next ones will be at the end of the month, so we'll know how many we're gonna get. Probably the week of the 4th. We'll probably find out our number that sometime around that time.
Yeah.
June 4th, somewhere around there, and probably they won't go into effect until like the week after that or the week after that. Even we don't know.
So either the second or third week is usually when they schedule for that
Yeah,
month.
but we should probably know our rough numbers of how many we're getting around the
Yeah.
4th of June or 5th, I guess.
Because this month they told us, I believe, the 3rd or 4th, and then they didn't start scheduling until the 18th.
Yeah, so it took a little while to process everything. So they're taking processing all the snapshots of the dealers. So the 20th is a snapshot of based on sales volume of what they sell by the 20th, and they figure that date. But then it takes them a little while to process everything and figure out what region's going to get how many, and then dividing it up between the dealers within that region, and everything else like that. So it could take a little while for that. So that usually takes into right around the 1st. So usually about like I think the Monday of after the 1st is usually when we hear something.
All right. Real quick, the Ford interest rate on the MAV last September when the windows were open, they didn't have any special rates, and so
Nope.
you aren't rate locked for those.
And that actually brings up something. I've been having a couple different customers that said, "Hey, I've talked to Ford customer support, and they said, hey, do you want this special rate offer, locked rate offer from when you ordered?" And they're like, "Yeah, great." And so they sent me. In fact, it was one of our customers, and so they sent it to me, and I looked it up, and I'm like, but if you actually click on that and see what models it's available for, it's not available for the Maverick. So I don't know why they sent it to you because it's not of any use on a Maverick. If you wanted a Bronco Sport, you wanted another model, there's low interest rates on those that were offered when you ordered back in that time frame. But Maverick's not on that list. Maverick did not have any kind of special rates back then.
I actually remember that the special incentive that they were doing because a lot of Maverick customers were like, "Well, can I reorder so I can get that special rate?" I'm like, "No, the Maverick order banks are closed." And if you actually look at the fine print on their website, it says that it does not include Maverick, Mach-E, Lightning, and Bronco.
Yeah. And some of them at one time they were going to give a special rate for the gas motor and not the hybrid, but they didn't even do that.
Oh. All right, we have had a couple of people questioning about Carlisle. Bud says that he'll see us in Carlisle. It looks like we had someone else say that he's going to be at Carlisle, and then PA Outdoorsman is going to be there as well with his Maverick. So if you are in the Pennsylvania area, we are going to be in Carlisle, Pennsylvania, June, was that 2nd and 3rd?
Yeah. Yeah. Second and
Yes.
third. Yeah.
2nd and
So
3rd, we'll be at the Ford Carlisle Nationals. We'll probably hang out mostly at the Maverick Truck Club tent since they did invite us out.
yep, and we'll probably do some other videos at some other things, but we do plan to do a 2 live streams, one Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern, and the same time on Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern. So if you want to see some cool Mavericks, we're gonna actually do a live stream and talk about the people that are there with their Mavericks, where they're from, that kind of thing, what Maverick they have, what modifications they've done to them. We're gonna have some fun. They'll probably be 2 hour long ones. They'll probably be an hour each day. So if you want to see some of those will be public live streams. It won't just be for members. So, but we thought that'd be fun. And then if there are some members that are there, and they don't plan to go to the Carlisle event, but they want to just meet up with us, let us know, email us, and maybe we can do something like Friday night or something.
Yeah, I think that would be fun
Or
Friday
Saturday,
or
Friday night or
Saturday.
Saturday. We can do Saturday because we're staying over Saturday night anyway, not leaving until Sunday. So
Yeah. Um,
yeah.
MDCTS says he'll be in Carlisle.
And
So
somebody did say yes. There's a 24 Ranger Raptor. I already planned to do.
that's right.
I actually did talk to marketing about that and said, is there any way? I know they're doing a walk around, but I'm assuming people won't be able to get close. And they gave my name to them, to the it's actually Ford Performance that's doing the walk around. So they said that I can go and hopefully get some close up shots and maybe do my own walk around on it. So. All right.
All right. Let's see. Gage says 23 XLT, 4-wheel drive, EcoBoost with Lux package, spray bed liner. Anything holding up the order? If anything, I would say the spray bed liner.
On the Lux package, I mean, at this point, people need to realize that Lux package is a holdup. And I know last year they're saying, oh, they took out spray and bed liner, some things, so it's not as much. It's not as restricted as it was last year, but still, if you have an XLT with a Lux, that's still a 30%. That means 70% of the orders being built are not going to be Lux package, right? We
Right.
have to remember that and know that that's the luxury package is something. So I know there's another question there. I highlighted it, Sarah. We'll get to it in a little bit, but somebody asked about that. Now, and you also need to remember, you need to, if you see people getting scheduled, oh, that person got scheduled with everything on it. Well, maybe they were first in line at their dealership, but even though they might have ordered later than you, because you need to compare it to other orders at your dealership. I actually did our member live. We actually kind of talked about that, and we could see that we didn't see anybody that had like luxury and that kind of stuff that wasn't at the top of the list. People that got overlooked, it had to be because of something else they had on their order. We have our friend Michael Branson. He's one of our members, and he's on the live stream a lot. That he is the second one that was put in at the dealership and has been overlooked 2 months in a row now. And the only thing I can think about is he has to have the moonroof on his. I mean, it's really weird that would be that, but moonroof is 38%, but he also has a Lariat Luxury, and he also has a Lariat Copilot, the Copilot 360 Assist Plus package or Assist package. He also has that on there as well. So even though it looks like a simple build, it's just luxury, Lariat Luxury with that Copilot Plus package and the moonroof, but together those three make it to where it's getting overlooked because the orders after it do not mirror his. There's not an order just like his that's getting scheduled. The orders that are getting scheduled behind his do not have the exact same build. So When it's really cool when you have a big number like 75, and I can deep dive on those orders and look at them and know when those orders are put in and be able to see that. And I can see those trends. I can tell you that that's not what's happening. So if another order down below is being selected, it's because it doesn't have something that orders above it have on there. But Donald gave us a donation. Did you highlight that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I was going to put that up when you were done talking. It
yeah,
says, "Thanks for making my purchase a pleasure. Thank you so much."
yeah. We had actually that day Donald was in, and oh, who else was in? We had Brett Manser was in. So those two guys, those were both in. So it was really nice to be able to talk to both of those when they were in. So it's always fun. So
All
thanks for the
right.
donation. Appreciate it.
So if my Maverick XLT has a Lux, should I take it off?
It's your option. I mean, I don't want to tell you what to do. I can just tell you if you take it off, it'll get scheduled faster.
Yeah. The Lux package for me was a must.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, because I needed the manual seats, I wanted the heated steering wheel, I wanted the heated seats, I wanted everything along, and I got the Copilot 360. Like, I had musts that I needed, and luckily I was able to get one without having to wait too long. But
And yours was an EcoBoost, which helped last year.
yes, it was an XLT EcoBoost, so that
Mm-hmm.
helped. But now, if I wanted to order, I would be waiting a long time because those are a must for me, and I would not remove them. So
Yeah.
it is what it's going to be. If that's a must for you, you got to keep it. So
Yeah. All right.
all right, XLT 4-wheel drive EcoBoost. We just did that one, and we did that one earlier.
Yeah.
No, we didn't. We did F-150, 450 Platinum
Yeah.
loaded.
Okay, so we know November is when the order banks open, but we know that a platinum couldn't get scheduled until last month. So it's just going to be a matter of time. F450 platinum. We know King Ranch platinum are getting scheduled at a limited scheduling. They're not. It's not like an XLT or XL, so that will take a little bit longer to get scheduled. So, and yeah, we have to remember that even though you could order November, really Ford didn't actually start looking at that order until job 2, because they said that they wouldn't start scheduling job 2s until, or they wouldn't schedule platinums and King Ranches until job 2. So really job 2 didn't open up until what, April, beginning of April, I think. So it's really only had about a month and a half of being able to be available to be scheduled. So
All right.
unfortunately, so
I have a question on my Bronco. I have a Bronco that the modules are on, but my tracker's showing as in production. It's been this way since 426. Any knowledge of holdups?
okay. Well, I do know that we have a bunch of Broncos that are sitting at the Michigan assembly plant that are built, and they keep saying delayed. So I think there is some holdups there at the plant getting those shipped out. So I don't know. I know that we have like 6 or 8 Broncos that all like, and I think at least 5 of them say delayed. Don't even have an ETA on them. So I
Well,
know
and
I know we're showing that it's been delayed a little bit coming out of there.
in production doesn't mean it's technically still being built. That could be a whole
Yeah,
range of things. It stays in production until it's released. It's good to go. It's passed all checks. It's passed all
yeah,
tests. It's solid.
yeah. So
Until
more
that point, it's in production.
exactly. So the status is order processing status, production, and then transit. So until it actually is released from the factory and they give the A-OK for shipping, it'll stay in that in production status. So it's not still being produced. It's just not shipped out yet. It's not been released from the plant yet. So probably is because of inspections, probably is in line. Probably got a lot of other inspections to do. I don't know. Probably sitting behind all those heritage editions. Anyway, all right.
All right. What happens to my 23 Maverick order when the dealership has been sold?
What will happen is your order will be given to another dealer close to you. So what I would probably do is call Ford's customer support and see if they can show what dealership it's headed to. Um, so, or if you have it on order and hasn't been scheduled yet or built yet, then yeah, I'd call them and see if they can see what where that, because basically what will happen is that order will go to another dealer. So what's really bad is the dealer that was closing down should have contacted the customers and let them know that. But hey, there's probably a reason why they're closing down, right? But that's usually what happened. That Maverick order isn't gone; it's just being given to another dealership. So,
All
so you might
right.
want to call Ford customer support, Ford complaint line, one of those two, and ask them where where the dealer what dealership has their order.
All right. On that note about the I actually just forgot what you were talking about.
Dealership closing down.
No, it was after that.
Oh, Ford customer support calling there.
Yes. Ford customer support keeps telling people that are not scheduled that they people call Ford customer support to get an update on their vehicle because
Hmm.
it has not been scheduled. Ford customer support keeps telling them that their parts have been sent to the plant and it's
Uh,
waiting to be put together to like
that's yeah. That's not how it works.
no. Um
So
they don't just send some of the parts over there.
no,
It's all or
they
nothing.
yeah they'll schedule them based on parts availability. So
Yeah. But I've
what
heard
they're yeah
3 emails about them the past 2 weeks. So
yeah that's not
yep. All right. When are the 24 Mavericks and Bronco order banks opening? Fall time? Upset about Heritage Bronco news.
all right. Well, you did see this week that the Edge was scheduled to order banks to open up on the 22nd. They didn't really say anything publicly because they didn't hit that mark and ended up being it's going to be tomorrow. So that's why they really hate to say when it's going to be. But let me just, I mean, and they don't like for me to talk about it, but I mean, sometime this summer, July ish. I mean, some people, because I actually did mention when the date was supposed to be, and they didn't, they didn't like me sharing that because they're true, they're right, is that date can shift and move. I mean, we saw that happen last year. What was it, August 2nd last year, and ended up being September 15th. So we don't want to get your hopes up that hey, it's going to be July, whatever, and then that day come and pass, and you're like, what's going on? But I will say this: it won't be before July, the middle of July, but it could be into August. Bronco, I don't even can't even remember that date or the time frame, but I think it's October for the Bronco. Well, actually October. I think when they shift over the plant is sometime in October, November, which means it probably usually got to figure about 2 months before that. So probably going to be like sometime in September is what I was my guess on that. But as it gets closer, again, stay tuned to us because we'll keep you updated on that stuff. So make sure you're subscribed and hit the bell notification.
Our Maverick meetup, the Midwest Maverick meetup,
Yeah,
it is going to be at Lakewood Park. Same location as last year. We're just arranging things a little bit differently. And then halfway through the day, we're going to move over to the garage
those that
to
want to. Yep,
enjoy, yeah, those that want to enjoy their exhibit that they have, which is trucks.
yep. They have a truck exhibit going through the summer, which will be a lot of
So
fun.
they thought it would be cool to have all the Mavericks lined up outside. So that is August 5th for those that were wondering.
Yep.
All right. Does the Lariat trim have hands-free driving beeping noise when something is in your blind spot and when backing up? What about forward-facing parking camera? All things I wish for on my XLT Lux.
Um. Okay. So, um, does the Lariat trim have hands-free driving? So you're talking about Blue Cruise, but then it says beeping noise when something is in your blind spot. So it doesn't beep when something that's the Bliss system doesn't beep. It just puts a light in the corner of that mirror. So when you look in that mirror, you know there's somebody there. Backing up is a cross traffic. It will beep and let you know there's somebody coming, and that's part of that. So Lariat trim will have that. Most of your XLTs, if you go through it to A, will have that even as well. That's, I think, part of the Copilot 360 2.0, I believe. So it should have that. Forward-facing cameras, you'd have to have the 360-degree camera package for that. So anyway, and then it says all things I wish were on the XLT Lux. Oh wait, are we talking about, we're talking about Maverick? I was thinking
Yes.
F-150. Okay, so on the Maverick, there is no hands-free driving. There is lane centering, which some people feel like is the same thing. That is available only on the Lariat trim. The Bliss, though, about the blind spots and the backing up, that is even on, isn't the Bliss, that's part of the Copilot 360 package. So you can add that to any trim. Even an XL can have the Bliss and cross traffic alert. None of them have a forward facing camera, not even on the Lariat trim. So
Right.
there you go. Sorry, it didn't have a model, and it wasn't until the install I told XLT Lux that I got it. So
All right.
it takes a little longer. It's 9 o'clock here.
All right. If you don't have any allocations for the 2-door for job 2 or model year 24, will I lose my order with you?
Okay, so well, you don't lose your order with us, period. But so we're talking about Bronco here. So uh, if you don't have any allocation for 2-door, okay, but we do. So we don't know. Okay, so every month allocations come out on a monthly basis. They're not on a yearly. So Ford tells dealers, here's what your estimated allocations are, and they try to break it down by this so you can keep your order, align your orders that way. But that doesn't always happen. We're even seeing that on the Maverick. I could tell you guys the number that Ford told us we're going to get, and we've already passed that number, and we still have at least 2 more months of production left. So estimates are that they're just a guide and just an estimate. For on the Bronco, the 2 doors, we were told, and I'll tell you this number, we were told we were going to get 3 2 doors. I think we've already scheduled 3. We still have 2 or 3 more months of production. So we're going to get more than what they said. So again, it's just a guide. So, but we don't know that number. Like we're going to get 3 allocations this week. Well, they're only going to do Bronco Raptors, so I don't think we have any Raptor allocations. So we won't get any Bronco scheduled this week. But we have 3 allocations for this month for regular Broncos. We don't know if they're going to be a 2-door is going to be in there. We don't know if it's going to be a 4-door hardtop. We don't know if it's going to be a wild track. Ford decides that. But then next month we'll get more allocations, right? And the next month, normally we get about 6 a month. So next month it could be 6 or 9. It may be this month we're getting 3 allocations, and maybe we're going to get a couple Raptors. So maybe that's why we're only getting 3 regulars. I don't know, but yes, your order won't lose. So if your 2-door does not get scheduled for this month, so job 2 doesn't affect anything. That's just job 2 is just the second half of production. If anything changes, like it did, like we talked about the Big Ben, that's a change for job 2 that goes into job 2. It doesn't change orders that are already unscheduled in there. Those still stay in there. You don't lose those. If your order doesn't get scheduled when 23 production is done and it's still unscheduled, we will place your order as a 24 and give your order priority, like we did all of our Maverick customers, and we've done on all of our Bronco customers and Super Duty customers.
All right.
We know a little bit about that now.
All right.
Compressors. Yeah, compressors are aftermarket. So
Yes.
Yep. Yeah, you can get. People will do and okay. So for those that listen to the podcast, so the question is, Tim, do any Bronco models come with compressors, or is that aftermarket? I saw you had a portable to plug into the cigarette lighter. So yes, there are a couple options. Actually, mine hooks up to the battery. A lot of them have to be wired into the battery. It needs the power from the battery. But you can set up ones that be mounted inside the Bronco and have a compressor that way if you want. I went with the portable one. So I mean, so mine, it's in a bag, a rough country one. It's for one, I got the portable because it was cheaper and I didn't have to worry about wiring and everything. So when I need to air down and air up my tires, if I'm going to go off road, I can just take that portable one and I can go plug it into the battery, and the cord's long enough to reach clear back to the back tires. I went with that route just because I like the portable a little bit better. It was cheaper, and I didn't have to hardwire anything in or bolt anything in, right? But some people have bolt them into their tailgates, whatever. But those are all aftermarket options. Ford doesn't make a factory option.
All right. XLT Maverick. The blind spot comes with a Copilot 360.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
any trim, XL even,
Yes. Yep.
lane keeping and bliss.
Yeah. Do you have any idea when Ford is going to tell dealers what their quotas for 24 on the various models?
Oh, like you mean their estimates of allocations? Um, they should tell us before the order banks open. They have been pretty good about that, so they probably will this time around. But so we don't know when that. Probably when they tell us when the order banks are going to open up is when they're going to give us those estimates. And again, I say that in quotes because it is an estimate. We have been gone over those estimates every time they've given us estimates. We have gone over those numbers so far. So even this current Broncos, I think they actually, to be honest, I think they told us 3, and we've already scheduled 2. Um, yeah, but I do know that there are other dealers that probably don't have any, and so that's why we're getting their 2-door allocation, and they're getting a different configuration for their allocation. So again, those are just estimates. So, but we should get those. Usually, what they've been doing is giving that out the week before you start taking orders. So, and I've also mentioned too on the Maverick, we may not be taking orders in 24. Depending on how many unscheduled orders we have, we're going to take care of our current customers that have orders with us first. That's always going to be priority. So we're going to make sure those orders are put in. 23 model year, it worked really. It worked well. We had about everybody that had a previous 22 order that we had to put a 23 order in. They all got scheduled before our first 23 new order got put in. So, with the exception of 2, because they had splash guards and the tonneau cover on the orders. But so we will make sure if those orders, if you have a 23 order that doesn't get built, when we have to put that in as a 24, you will get priority. And we'll make sure the new, if we take any new orders, we'll make sure those get put in first based on what allocation Ford says we're going to get, and then go from there. So, like I said, we've already surpassed their estimate for last year. So,
Yeah.
we've already surpassed it. So, and
All right.
probably one of the reasons why we surpassed it was because they picked up production, right? They added a third shift, and they didn't realize they were going to do that when they gave us an estimate in the fall. So when they give you an estimate at the beginning of a model year and you have 1 year of production, things can change in a year.
Uh, my order's an XL with hitch. Nothing else. Do you think at this point, could switching to XLT help get scheduled, or likely too late?
Yes, but make sure you COVP when you make the change.
Yes.
Re-COVP it.
All right. So this is for the Bronco part of our show earlier. USPS uses Jeep Wranglers in remote areas of the country, so maybe the work variant is geared towards this sort of customer.
Exactly what I was thinking. Hey, we're at a camp here. These people, I've been seeing Jeeps all over up here. The people, the workers and such, they use Jeeps. So you add these places in the Great Smoky Mountains and places like that when they have inclement weather. You know, they need a 4-wheel drive to even deliver the mail, or the fleet customer. That I could see that being a thing and needing to get Jeeps for those people. So, or Broncos.
All right.
Yep,
Um,
agreed.
we talked about that one. Do you think the Mavs getting overlooked is related to the shortage of the tires?
No, the it's all about how the order is configured,
Yes.
what their configuration is on their order. 100%.
Yep.
The more
All
the
right.
items you have on there, the longer it's going to take. I mean, it's one of those things.
Once your Maverick is scheduled for production, can you add a spray and bed liner?
You can try. So here's the way I look at that is they scheduled your order based on the configuration you had in there. So if you start trying to mess with it after they've scheduled it, it's going to affect whether and when that could be produced and when. So if they scheduled an order, like we had some people that did this, and So if they scheduled an order, let's say you have one and you didn't have the luxury package right on your order, it got scheduled because you didn't have the luxury package on there, more than likely. So if it gets scheduled for, let's say, the build week of July 10th, and then you go ahead and add the Lux, well, now they can't build that vehicle because they've already accounted for all the Lux packages prior to yours. The reason yours got scheduled and the luxury package got overlooked is because you didn't have it on there. So what'll happen is if you do make that change and Ford accepts that change, 9 times out of 10, that order is going to get moved back into production, into where they feel like it basically would be taking place of a new luxury package order, which in my opinion isn't really fair for the people that had it on their order before they scheduled it. So really try to put on your order what you want. I would be more likely, if I were you, to do the spray line when it gets to the dealership at that point, right?
Right.
So
Brandon Jones says this might be a Niles question. I
I can't hear you.
Sorry.
Okay.
I want to make sure to blow my nose. You can't hear me. All right.
Allergies.
Allergies are terrible. This
Yeah.
might be a Niles question. I've done some research and some people have been adding catch system to their 2.0 Maverick. Does that void powertrain warranty?
Catch
We
can system. Okay. Yeah,
yeah,
that would
we
be a Niles question.
he is not here tonight.
Yeah.
He had a work barbecue to go for his wife. So,
Yeah, and I couldn't tell you catch can system. Um, yeah, if it's yeah, I don't know. That'd be a good question for him. Um, Probably depending on if it's a Ford part or a Ford thing, then Ford will probably warranty that. So, but it just depends. If it's something aftermarket, then sometimes not. Sometimes it may not. But yeah, that would be a great Niles question.
okay. So maybe bring it back next year, or you can email him at, was it
Maybe
Niles
next week.
Gridley?
He said next year.
Next week.
Yeah, next week. Yeah, or you could email him. Yeah, Niles LMP.
Gridley? LMP.
That stands for Law McArthur Performance at Gmail. So, and Niles is, we'll just put it in the comments. We'll just
Yeah.
type it in there.
All right. Bronco 6G question for RagnarCon. Those who are going to have their Bronco interior force change from cloth to leather while they gain the 10-way powered seat function, black appearance and order guide is very ambiguous.
Yes, because it actually doesn't mention that. But I will say this: now we need to remember that you only get power seat before on a 4 door. 2 doors didn't receive that. So if it's a 4 door, I mean, the way it was before in the order guide, or when it was the way it was listed, was if it was leather. Now that it's standard, so they forgot. So what they forgot to do is before it was optional. So if you looked in the order guide under the options under leather, it would say actually as a note underneath, it said that if it's a leather seat, then it gets power seat on the 4 door. So because now it's standard equipment, they didn't add that and notate that on the upgraded features as part of the Wild Track and the Outer Banks. So I think it's just a note that they just didn't think about. Um, I probably I'll try to send something to the brand manager and let them know. I did that with the Ranger. I forgot to actually mention that there was something on the Ranger that wasn't on the order guide, and I kind of reminded them. I'm like, you didn't mention drive modes on the order guide, and they're like, oh, we'll try to get that added. So that's how sometimes amendments and changes are made to the order guide because they didn't think about it. So that's probably they're going to have to update the order guide for that as well. But in the past, the way it's been is if you add leather, you automatically get power seat. So I would assume that's still going to be the case. Now that it's standard, I assume power seat's going to be standard on those, but it's not on the order guide. I did look on the order guide because I saw that today when I was able to check some things, and I noticed Rydercon tagged me, and I was hoping he would bring it up because I forgot. And so I really thought that they should have put it on the order guide, but I think the reason it's not is because now it's standard. Um, so I guess we'll find out a lot
All
more
right.
power seats. But so yeah, I'll reach out to the brand manager see if I can get some clarification on that. But
All right. We have Stuart Moon. I think he said he might see us in Carlisle. He'll be at the show. Anyways, Maverick Bronco, are you worried about the quality of the third shift in Mexico? No,
No,
I
they
know.
do some. They're gonna do some some good training there, and I bet you too they'll have, probably people on those shifts that have worked other shifts, kind of intermix them, so that they're not just adding a third shift to people that are new. They're probably adding new people to other shifts, right? More than likely.
Yeah.
And from what I understand too, is they're bringing some of those people from a plant that was closing down, possibly. So they maybe know what they're doing anyway. But
Or
yeah,
at least have an idea.
they've known they're going to add a third shift for a while, so I'm sure that they've had the training up and running, so quality's still going to be there.
Alrighty. Ordered Maverick Hybrid June 22, shipped May 2023. Should I receive transition incentive of $2,750?
Yep. Next.
All right.
Yes, you should. And some of those, the dealer's going to maybe have to submit that over to the sales and inventory specialists because some of them aren't showing up. So um, we actually
Okay.
had one the other day from a customer that didn't order their 22 with us, but ordered their 23, and theirs got scheduled with us. And so I was like, yours is probably not going to pull. Oh, yeah, it did. It's there. That's a miracle because a lot of them aren't showing. So the dealership's going to have to contact the sales and inventory specialists and let them know, nope, they had a 22 order. They'll have to fill out some stuff so that they'll know. But
All right.
before I forget, so those of you that are on the Ranger, this is here's what was forgotten. Here, you want to take that off? So
What?
remove that comment there. So I can see. There you go. So on the Ranger, they did not put anything in the order guide about the different drive modes. So all vehicles do get drive modes. So the XL, XLT, and Lariat trims will get the normal, eco, sport, tow haul mode, and slippery mode. And then if you go with FX4 off-road package, you gain a mud rut and a sand mode. So you can see mud rut and sand. Um, you can go FX4 and look at that when you compare it to the drive modes of the Raptor. You lose an eco and you gain an off-road and a Baja and a rock crawl. So you do get that rock crawl, and a Baja is similar to like a sand mode, but mud ruts is going to be similar to an off-road one. Probably a little different because it is a different four-wheel drive system. But so that's the different drive modes that wasn't in the order guide that will probably show up shortly because I pointed out to him that it was missing.
All right. Archie Sutton says, my son and I both have orders through Long for a hybrid Maverick. If they can't get to us this year, will our orders roll over to 24s? Apologies if this has been asked.
Okay, so they won't. We have to resubmit them for 24. So technically, 4 doesn't roll them over. We'll need to resubmit them. But what we'll do is, I actually keep a report of this. So every week after scheduling is done, I re-download the list of unscheduled orders we have, and I keep a copy of all those. So we'll make sure those orders are all the customers, of course, are contacted, because there will be some changes from one model year to the next, just like this year with the Copilot 360 Assist Plus package that wasn't there last year, that a lot of customers are getting theirs without their adaptive cruise and they're upset. So we'll make sure that we make any adjustments, but we'll be contacting just to confirm those, but be placing those for you for 24 and giving you priority. So you guys would get the highest priority. We'll probably do it based like we did this last year, where we'll do a 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 type thing depending on what day you ordered on. So last time it was what month you ordered. This time it's like what day, because we know we can narrow it down to the day. So, but yes, so we do know that we could have possibly a couple hundred orders get carried over to next year. It just depends on what allocations we have the last 2 months. But anyway.
All right. Ford received my order September 8th for a 23 F-150 XLT 5.0 Black Appearance package FX4. I don't have a VIN or build date. I don't have anything like bed cover or anything else. Do you recommend to keep it off? Just wheel locks.
Okay, so that must have been September 18th because they weren't taking orders September 8th. Oh, wait, F-150. Oh, F one
Yes.
fifty XLT 5.0 black appearance package FS4. No, that black appearance package will just take longer to get scheduled. If you want to get it scheduled and you don't care, take the black appearance package off. But right now, that's what's holding it up.
Yep.
And what was it this week? Was 5.0 not getting scheduled this week?
Yeah.
So that's going to affect it this week, but not every week, right?
Yeah.
So
Roy Pass says, you have to admit the 23 Maverick recalls have been significantly less than 22. The 23 Maverick trimmers were produced first and sent to dealers with a 6-month no-sell policy.
um, don't think there was a no sell policy though for
No.
6 months.
That would be what, hybrid? Or was that
No, I mean we saw that on Lightnings and
yeah.
some of those vehicles, but and it wasn't a mandatory. We didn't do a no sale clause on any of our Lightnings. For us,
Well, this is Maverick trimmer.
yeah, we
Yeah.
didn't. Yeah, we didn't have that. We didn't have to
There was
follow
a
through on that. I don't think.
there was a no sale on if you had that airbag recall or in
Hmm.
22. So there was that, and then Super Duties were not getting shipped out because they did not have the okay to buy.
Yeah, and then we did see there for a while at the beginning of 22, where some of them with the airbag couldn't be sold until the airbag recall was done, but that wasn't trimmers. I don't think we had any issues with trimmers when it came out.
Okay. All right. Next, how many Mavericks has your dealership delivered in numbers compared to your allocation numbers?
Well, I can say that we've gotten scheduled is more than our estimated allocation number. That I can tell you. I can't at the top of my head. I don't know how many we sold, but we haven't yet sold as many as our allocation number. But I can tell you after this month, we've now scheduled for production more orders than what they gave us an estimate on, higher than our estimate.
All right. Does your dealership charge markup on F-150 Raptors? Will you charge markups on Ranger Raptor or Bronco Raptor?
Okay, so F-150 Raptors, I think we still, Sarah, you actually priced those. Do we have any Raptors in stock right now?
A few. I don't
What do
think
we
prices
couple?
changed today.
Are we a couple grand over or something?
Yeah.
So we are a little over on Raptor, on F-150 Raptors still. And you got to remember those have been out. The current model and current body has been out for a couple of years now.
Yeah.
So we still are doing over on those. Bronco Raptors, I don't remember what we're over on Bronco Raptors. It's been a while since we've had a Bronco Raptor allocation. So I
Last
kind of forget. Was it 10 grand? I don't
last I
remember.
knew, I thought it was 5.
Anyway, somewhere around 5 and 10. Our first Ranger Raptor allocation, so we already know we're getting one. We don't know what we're getting after that. That one is being marked up significantly for that person that wants the very first one at our dealership. Probably go to a local customer. They probably already have it sold.
Most
But
likely.
yeah, so but after that, I could see that coming down to probably like 5 or 10 grand over would be my get. So
All right. I have a Lightning XLT ordered. It says scheduled for production, but no date. Does that mean they are viewing or a glitch and I have no date?
if you scheduled, they won't schedule without giving it a date, like a week of date.
So maybe it was previewing?
I don't know. It could be.
All
That's really
right.
weird. If it's scheduled for production, it would have a build date. So
All
that's
righty.
for sure.
Barry Brown says, so I was skipped over for some reason last month, and others with everything the same as mine, with order dates after they got scheduled. I am a member, and you placed it on day 1.
Yes. So again, there's probably something on that order. I can tell you that there aren't anybody after you that has the same exact build that got scheduled. I can tell you that I've looked at the orders very closely, and that is not the case. So we kind of went over that on the member video. So for us, if you're a member and you have an order with us, then we kind of for fun, just as a fun thing to do, we kind of go over those. We can still check the status on your order if you're not a member, but yeah. So I can tell you that yours wasn't overlooked with anybody with the same order as yours. So more than likely, you probably have Lux package and stuff on there. So And
All right.
I can look yours up and email you later, Barry, and let you know. But I I went through those. I actually did that. I actually put everything on the document that I download that are unscheduled. I actually went through and highlighted all the ones that got scheduled, and then I actually, because of this little report that Ford gave us, I was able to see what constraint items were on everybody's orders. I actually put that in a column, so I can tell you that I did look that over, and yeah, you weren't overlooked for somebody that had the same order as yours.
Yep.
So
All
unfortunately,
right. Got an email, but when I go online with Finn, they gave me I show order confirmed only. No other info. I changed from XL to XLT. My orders with McArthur.
okay, got an email, but when I go online with Ben, they gave I show. You need to check with us. We can tell you what year when that is, so we can show you
So
the dates.
let me
But
do this. Email fordvideoguy@gmail.com and I can answer that for you and get it
yep,
checked on it.
if you got a VIN, you're scheduled. So if they're just showing you order confirmed, then that's not accurate. So again, there's some inconsistencies with some of those emails and such. So, you know, just contact your salesperson, or like you can just email Sarah, and Sarah will look it up and tell you what your scheduled build date is.
Yep.
So
Richie says, can you remind folks about the Maverick meetup this August and the Wyndham Super 8 room reserved?
okay, so yeah, we had some reserved for our members. So,
Yes.
but there are two Super 8 motels or hotels in
Yeah.
Salina. But yeah, so
All right. I never laugh at Tim for pointing to the wrong side of the screen. What are you talking about? I might chuckle, but I don't laugh. All right. Purdue guy in LB says Super Duty. My Lariat Ultimate has max reclined seats. If I delete that and not considering the probably ridiculous price and the idea of the max
can't,
reclined seats can be
nope,
retrofitted.
can't retrofit it later. It has to be taken off, and your vehicle won't be built with it on there. So guess
Alrighty.
it depends on how bad you want it. Is max recline seat a deal breaker for you to not get your truck at
All
this
right.
point, right?
Do you recall the name of the park where the Maverick will take place?
Lakewood Park.
Lakewood Park
Yep.
in Salina, Kansas.
Midwest Maverick meetup.
The Midwest Maverick Meetup, second annual. All right, Paul West Watson says, "Hey, I have a 23 Maverick Lariat Lux, co-pilot and assist ordered through you guys. Can you check status? Can you email me? And
Yeah,
I will
email us.
certainly do that.
Yeah, we're gonna. I think we're gonna get to the point where we won't do those. I there for a while we were checking those um, on the live stream, but we're not gonna do that anymore. So if you want to get that status with us, either contact your salesperson or email Sarah, and we can get that check on that for you.
And if your salesman is not following up with you like you would like, let us know.
Yep. Some people like a update, once a month. Some are like, hey, I don't care about hearing about it until I get scheduled. So just every customer's a little different. So let them know so we can notate in your account of how often you'd like to be updated with that information.
All right, Niles is back. All right, Vols 44. To put things in perspective, Ford halted production for the F-150 for a week in 22 because 43 vendors or suppliers weren't keeping up with customer demand. It's not always Ford's fault.
Yeah,
It's
unfortunately,
not.
we rely on suppliers for parts.
So a lot of
And
people think that the Ford assembly plants are where they're making all the parts, and that's not true.
yeah, so little known fact, they one of the things they mentioned yesterday, yesterday was Monday. They mentioned yesterday at that, I think it was a shareholders, or I don't know what it was, get together, but they mentioned how they are actually going to make their builds less complex so that they can make it easier for getting parts. So they've already done that on the Explorer. They've taken the Explorer down to only 23 configurations from 200 or something. They're going to do the same thing with the F-150 as well and some other models. So they're going to make it, even if you look at the Ranger, If you look at that order guide on the Ranger, that order guide was so easy for me to go over. There's only like a couple packages available and not that many standalone options. So they're making it a lot more simplified so that way it's a lot easier for them to get parts and be able to build these vehicles faster.
Yeah. In fact, we had um I got a notification for one that said Ford says that's gonna stop having dealers, and I was like, no, that's not what the article says at all. And I actually went through and read the article, and it's not what they're saying at all. They're saying that they're gonna have more stuff in place to keep dealers more transparent and to help the process be a little bit smoother and help the customers get what they're expecting.
Yep. So now Niles is back, so we can ask him if they add the catch can to the 2.0 EcoBoost Maverick, will it void their powertrain warranty? So Maverick, so Niles can put that in there. So, and if he does, let us know so that we can tell people from the podcast that the answer.
All right. Alan says, I think I saw that Ken Block's truck is going to be displayed at the Salina Garage Museum.
Yep,
I don't
that is
know.
true. I think
That
it's
is
the
true?
first appearance since its passing too.
Oh, wow. That is interesting. All right. I'm still waiting for my MAV XLT trimmer with 0 add-ons. Is my delay caused by my dealer allocations?
Some, yeah, but I wouldn't say it
Could
wouldn't be
be.
much longer. We have a lot. How many? What would we have? Do we have 11 trimmers scheduled this last month? We're getting pretty down to not that many trimmers left. So
All right. All right. Does the new Ranger offer lane centering similar to the Lariat, Lex, and Maverick?
no, surprisingly, it doesn't. Wait. I went through all those. Maybe it did in the technology package. I can't remember now. I have to look that up. You go on. I'm gonna look that up because that
Okay.
now that drives me nuts. I want to know.
Niles answered. He says, from what I understand, I don't think it does void that warranty. He's going to ask John, one of our service managers in service, to confirm that so he can answer that next week. Or if you email him at the email that we posted earlier, he can answer it for you probably tomorrow. All right. We answered that one.
Okay, so that's what I was thinking. So on the XLT trim, you can get a technology package, and that technology package includes adaptive cruise control with stop and
Ooh.
go and speed sign recognition, but not lane centering.
Oh. Okay.
So even the Maverick gets lane centering, but that Bronco, the Ranger, does not get lane centering.
Haha.
360-degree camera though. So that's actually what's really kind of neat about that is XLT can even get that package, the technology package, with adaptive cruise and everything on it. And on the Lariat trim, it's standard. So again, they're trying to make it less simplified or less complex. But one of the things that Ford needs to realize that I realized on a lot of orders when I was putting in the constraints on a lot of orders is that they need to just include that Copilot 360 Plus package on the Maverick into it like they did before. That needs to just be part of it because there almost everybody that ordered the Lariat luxury package also wanted that as well. And there are some people out there that have actually told me and they said, no, I don't want that. I don't need those things. So maybe that, they left it that way, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, like even on that, the Ranger Lariat all comes standard with that, with adaptive cruise. So, all right.
Alrighty. Spray and bed liner, drop in bed liner, and all other bed accessories go to an offsite body company. Transportation and QA for all that adds 50 days for a produced truck getting on the rail to Hermosillo.
Yep. True. And the drop in liner is more constrained than the spray in. It's like almost half.
So here's a question about that video last week. What was the deal with the guy with the crossbow?
So that was in our member video. That was Larry. I don't know.
What?
I don't know. Yeah. I didn't realize I didn't recorded the intro and everything. He's behind me with a crossbow messing with it. Like I don't know if he just bought it or something and brought it in to show some of the guys or what, but
I'm gonna have to go back and rewatch this.
it's kind of funny. We're in Kansas though. I
Yeah,
shot a bow today. It was fun.
I miss shooting a bow. That was my once a year trick for camp as a camp counselor.
Yeah,
I can hit a target in the center very easily.
yeah. I just walked up because a lot of people were doing it, and I was letting people go, and I'm like, okay, you want to go? I said, yeah, sure. So I pulled 10 arrows back, all in the red. It's like, choom, choom, choom. It's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I used to bow hunt.
Deke Marshall says Larry was hunting for good deals.
There you go. He's a used car manager. He was
Well, we
slashing
have
prices.
a lot of time we have like cars parked somewhere and they're like crazy Larry's used parking lot here
Yeah,
to keep us
I did tell him. I said,
entertained.
"Well, we'll trade for anything."
Yeah. Niall says our Law McArthur employee parking lot is always fun. Yeehaw.
Mm,
But yeah, I can hit the target with a bow and arrow, and I've learned from dad and everything. And then
yeah,
I would go out to had a section in high school where we had to use a bow and arrows and everything. And so we're sitting there, and these like the whole first group that go are all guys. None of them hit a single balloon. None of them hit the target. Second group, a bunch of guys and me. No other females. I hit the balloon. I was the first one to hit a balloon, and I popped all the balloons on our target, and all of them had to be replaced while no other guys hit.
mhm.
So it took them a few more tries to hit, and some of these guys were hunters. They're like, "Who is this person?" It's my once a year show off skill as a camp counselor.
Yep,
I can show off to the girls and look good.
yep. If you ever want to see me do anything fun, give me a yo-yo. I can,
Oh yeah. Oh,
believe it or not, believe it or
I
not,
have a Tim Bart's yo-yo at home. I found. All right.
make that a special member thing. Got to be a member to get to see
Oh,
some video of
can
that.
I do a special member short of you doing some yo-yo tricks?
Sure, have to pull some out from my storage bin.
Oh, I know how to find that. You used to always run off with them. So I don't have any other questions. Let me read through real quick.
Well, good, because I got to go to the bathroom. We might need to make this short. And I'm getting cold because they left that door open over there.
All right, they're all just talking about the can thing.
Okay,
Catch can? Yeah.
catch it if you can.
Tim Bart's Deke Marshall says, "Okay, I'm googling Tim Bart's and yo-yo right now.
I
Don't
don't
know
think
what you'll find."
I don't think there's any videos out there. I forgot to mention in my session today though. I said, if you really want to see, videos or content that I have, just Google Ford Video Guy, and I mean, it's videos galore on Google. But so anyway,
All right.
all right. Anything else?
Nope.
All right, not too bad. Which is good because I think the bus is about ready to roll up in about 10 minutes. Take me back to my hotel. I want to miss the first bus so I can go to bed.
We should do
Anyway,
some yo-yo merch.
I actually still have a bunch of those. They're at home.
Ooh, maybe a little surprise get to
I'm,
be
I'm
first
a
type of
little,
thing.
actually, I'm a little embarrassed to give them out because they're like cheap plastic yo-yos that don't do anything.
Hey, I remember once it's not about what type of yo-yo you're using it. It's whether or not you know how to use it.
Actually, I could take that and I could actually make that yo-yo sleep.
Oh, I know. I've seen you do it.
All right. Well, if nothing else. All right. Okay. Well, thanks everybody. We're good.
Butterfly or rounded, which is your favorite? I think he likes the butterfly.
Fine. I do like to do a lot of string tricks.
Yeah. All right.
I did one time get the yo-yo to go like, what was it, 90, almost 100 miles an hour. I
Yes.
got one of those special yo-yos that gave how fast it rotated. And I could throw it 100 miles an hour. I could
Yep.
take a new string and break it within 3 throws. So how hard I could throw it. Anyway, I digress. We're just
All
anyway.
right.
All this camp fun, Sarah. Remember me doing yo-yo demonstrations at camp for
I
kids?
do.
All right. Well, anyway, thank you guys very much for joining us, and don't forget on the way out, smash that like button. I appreciate it. Really helps out. And all right,
All
thank you very
right.
much. Another successful live stream. What's this? This was episode 93. I forgot to do an intro, or a little trailer.
Specs,
But
you're showing up in the last few minutes. We're leaving.
he's coming by the dealership soon, I think. Yeah,
Possibly.
that's what Niall said. He's gonna get a pro pack put on.
Ooh. You have
Yeah,
to let me know because everyone comes in on a Saturday and I'm not here on Saturdays. Let me know. I want to meet you.
we
I'd
do
like to
know
say hi.
Michael Montgomery's gonna be there Saturday. This Saturday.
I guess I have to come in on Saturday.
Yeah. Anyway. All right. Well, thank you guys very much. Sarah, you want to take that
What?
off? All right. Well, thank you guys very much. Appreciate it joining us tonight on tonight's live stream. I think that's all we have. So let's
All
see.
right.
So don't forget. Thank you very much for watching. Until the next video, don't forget to stay positive, be kind to one another.
And be kind to yourselves.
We'll see you later.